things in society that you feel we should bring back.
Respect.
Definitely.
You got the gist
from
of
the
what
kids.
this is, because that's probably exactly what.
Especially in the new generation, respect is like something that is not common these days.
Definitely. Totally agree.
We definitely need to bring respect, especially like Noah is saying, from the new generation. Those kids, they don't mind fighting with an older person. Sometimes you need to understand, guys, the people that are studying, the people that are studying, some of them or many of them are first generation degree holders.
Okay.
And we've put everything on this person, so the least we can this person expect. Sometimes it's not even something they expect. It's you telling yourself, from here I need to work so that the people that are coming behind me, they also can get the same education as me. So I cannot afford now got this degree, kids am the business. Where else I can actually go and earn 25,000. And that time no one has ever earned even 10,000 in that household. So you can't expect that same person, dog, to go in and try and be innovative with that degree. They can't afford it.
But someone was saying even in workplaces, they still use the old tactic to divide and conquer. Even in workplaces they use it. That's why even you see in most black dominated workplaces where there's a lot of black people, we compete amongst each other, as Gus was saying earlier. Snitch on Huitsi so that you can get a promotion.
Yeah, true.
That's why we have conflicts at work.
Fuck. Sometimes I hate being an overthinker, and being an overthinker comes with a certain level of intellect. And that intellect requires you to just get out of the norm. And I'm not okay with being part of the norm. I'm not okay with just being part of, just the brink of how things are working in society. I want to be more. I want to be more than just, okay, you're a basic worker, come to work, go home, come back, No, my mind is not like that. My mind is not saying, okay,
it's thinking
you have a job.
But that's the thing of Ubuntu we've been speaking about. So we can't a lot of time put blame on other races, whereas we're not even plugging ourselves. We can have a company that has black HR and black recruiters, but they will still expect the unexpected from you. Well, you must have a PhD, you must have in only for you to have an entry-level job. Go check us. But when it's a white person or any other races, it's like
it's standard, like, okay, come through.
Yeah,
I don't care what you have, just come through.
Like
the times that our parents they grew up in, they're totally different from the times that we live in. Right now, you just see the next person as competition.
Yeah.
It feels like you're just fighting for the same things.
Practically.
And it feels like there's not enough opportunity, so I need to fight you for this opportunity. That's why I'm not going to have Ubuntu towards you. Because it's either you or me in the mind.
Practically.
You're going to even use
some risky business.
Yeah, so if you're going to walk past, just know you're going to be captured somewhere.
That's imagination.
Yeah, but they're good though.
What's the goal? How tala show today? You must just say what's the goal, what's the qua.
Of course.
This is your boy.
Shaka down.
Babo no go le bon tate moholo le bona ba etsa go le qua. What's the go? What's the qua?
What's the go? What's the qua? Hello, people. Welcome to Global Streetz Live, GSL. I've got my boy Lesejo. I've got my boy Kagiso. I've got my girl Newo. My name is Witty. Thank you for tuning in. And what's the
You see, that's the problem.
Okay, you need to teach me how to pronounce it, my friend. I'm not Zulu.
What's the oh?
What's the
Thank you, Puak.
What's the You know, one thing about us in terms of Tswanas and Sotus, we don't have difficulties with like pronunciation of other languages and stuff, you know. With you Zulus.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it's you
Zulus, by the way, like yes, you fuck it up. You like the white people. Guess it makes sense why you went to war.
Chipo.
Hey, Goisi.
Chipo.
Little chipo. No, but with the Zulu people,
And they can pronounce it, eh?
They do.
They just, you get what I mean?
They can.
they do.
Zulus.
They can. Lee, when your name has a Q in it, they just choose to say Q. They leave everything else.
Yeah. Cute.
They choose.
You'll have to deal with. You'll deal with it.
That time,
What does Ko have? Is it Ko as an X or an Q?
It's a Q.
it's a Q.
Or what's the Ko? What's the Kwa? I'm fascinated by this Ko and Kwa shit.
That
Quite
time,
interesting.
we make sure.
Labaskokne.
We make sure labuskachni.
Pocket change.
Bo Sauvignon.
Because as soon as you
Bo
say
Croissant.
But
Song.
kolabuskachni or labushain, he's gonna tell you very quickly.
Bo
whether it's labuskachni.
Peugeot.
very quickly. You're right. You're right. You're right. I mean, we've experienced it
I have.
many times.
I have.
He says Labaskokne. Shatne Skokne.
Anyway,
So-
where are we going?
So
What's the call? What's the
so the
call?
first thing that we are obviously going to just
Just say the
broaden
first
into-
call that we're going to go to.
What's the core that we are going into? And first question that I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna leave it to you, everybody else before it comes to me. Things in society that you feel we should bring back.
Respect
Yeah, definitely.
You got the gist
from
of
the
what this is?
kids.
Because that's probably exactly what
Especially in the new generation, respect is like something that is not common these days.
Definitely. Totally agree.
We definitely need to bring respect, especially like Noah is saying, from the new generation. Those kids, they don't mind fighting with an older person. Those kids, they don't mind seeing a lady, mutwateng usiaka 15 years. Amo jwetso ho, wena nka o shaya wena.
I'm a tonore, not even.
Or ungangijwayeli kabi.
I'm a tonore, like
Also-
stop tonore.
Also, Amahloni. Like, they're not ashamed anymore, Joe.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
the
someone saying we
problem.
need to bring back shame.
Yo,
Yeah.
Like, they can smoke in front. Before, but you never in your 30s. Now, I like grade 9. What Uber and high side part, I will try 99 store cigarette in uniform even.
In uniform. That's
In
another
uniform.
thing. To say it's so in uniform now. Like they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit.
yeah, we definitely need to make respect fashionable again. We definitely, I don't know what
I
went
was
wrong.
going to say, nah, what I was going to say, now this is now broadening it a bit. It goes now across all cultures. It goes now across all ages. Ubuntu. That's my
That's another thing, yeah.
back to say
We are slowly
we've
losing
lost
it. We've
so
lost
much.
it.
You just mentioned respect, and I think we were more channeled on the youth or the younger people before 18 or the scholars and shit. But I feel like Ubuntu has just generally been lost amongst the black people. You know,
What do you think is the
And-
cause of that?
the cause of that is the change in standards, societal standards. You know, like now you are thriving to be better than your neighbor as opposed to being better to help your neighbor. You know, Ubuntu is practically helping your neighbor, you know, and I'm not necessarily saying working for them, but just helping them. Like
Yeah.
if you are in a position to help, then hey, why not? You know what I mean? We grew up in societies that used to fend for themselves. So there was never this he's lazy, he's not doing anything type of mentality, But now, it's seen as you're lazy, you're not doing anything. And that's how those that are able to afford, those that are able to get certain or attain certain things tend to behave. Not everyone. I'm not saying all of them that are able to afford behave that way, but I feel like we've somehow just had a shift in, people that now behave differently from how we used to behave. So, yeah, from my view, that's what I'm gonna say to say what actually caused it to take place. The shift in just society's standards and the fact that we might think the next person is just trying to use us, whereas they truly need it.
The other thing I'm thinking now, I need to get into the Ubuntu thing. I think the other thing that caused us not to have Ubuntu as much as we used to, it's because in the times that we live in, maybe the times that our parents they grew up in, they're totally different from the times that we live in. Right now, you just see the next person as competition.
Yeah.
It feels like you're just fighting for the same things.
Practically.
And it feels like there's not enough opportunities, so I need to fight you for this opportunity. That's why I'm not going to have Ubuntu towards you. Because it's either you or me in the mind.
Practically.
And that's not a good thing. It will never... Also, the opportunities, they also go with this thing, there's not enough jobs these days. So the success
The mindset
thing,
is just
the
so
success
different.
thing, it's causing people to stamp on each other. I'll stamp on you just to make sure I become a success.
Yeah.
So for me, it goes with the times that we live in. There's not enough opportunities. People are fighting for the same opportunities. The government is not doing us any justice with regards to this. It's just a mess.
It's a big mess.
It's just a big mess. But for me, respect definitely. Definitely respect is number one.
Respect. I was even looking at back then when like Kokas, you see an older person coming back, it's already plastic bag.
Yeah.
Back then you would help. Now it's like no.
Like whatever.
I don't care. It's your
Not that we
business.
saw something
Yeah.
True.
So it's like we've lost that sense of respect for older people. Even our faith, like when an older person, I'm okay, and that day, when you walk past. But it's like now you just walk past. Even I think I remember the last time I visited my cousin and we walked past this lady without greeting. She got so offended, like, and it's like I get it because like back then it was a common thing where before you greet. Whether you know them or not.
And they know it like that.
Yeah,
that's
they
why
know
they're
it like
responding
that,
like
yeah.
that. To say how wireless and to medicine. Khante thompile guy.
Yeah.
Whereas they're just so dull about it to say, well, whatever. And that's so true. Funny that we're talking about this. I saw a video earlier on in the week, actually last week. This female counterpart is talking about how people who are able to get you in better positions, be in family, be in friends, be in relatives, whoever that you are immediately associated to, they deliberately remove the opportunity that they're able to give to you. So if now, let's say, for instance, I'm working for a company and that company is looking for a person that can actually do whatever that you are able to do. You know what I mean? The simplest, maybe not even like even the simplest job, that an individual is able to do. I will ensure that I do not bring it to your attention. And the reason for this is because I want to keep you at a level where I'm able to control you and I'm able to make you an ice boy. And that's how this particular individual described it, to say, I want you to be an ice boy and I'm going to keep you at the ice boy level. Because if ever I had to get you in any other level, then that means there's going to be that means we are going to be at a level
on the
where
same level.
we're able to compete.
Yeah.
Even though it's not about competition, but you're going to be at my level.
Also
Meaning you're not going to
man.
need me.
Also
You know what I
about
mean?
man.
So yeah, it's not grootman.
Yeah.
That's another term that they actually refer to.
Also about
say,
grootman.
"Ausale grootman."
We're on the
Like
same
imagine
level
your age, your peer, calling you a sister or auntie, or in my case is that thing you're a grootmani, ufunan. That time this is my literally the same person that's my age calling me grootman. But I'm in a
Sometimes you're
position
older
to
than
change their life.
Sometimes they're older than you, but they call you Grootman.
Exactly. Sometimes
And
they're older
it's-
than me, but they're calling me grootman.
You know what I think it is? A lack of self-worth. How you gonna be threatened by someone being on the same level as you?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's someone who's fond of you, if you fall from the grace of God, or you start declining in your climb to success, you know that person's gonna be at your corner. You know you know how sweet it is where you're a friend of 10 people and you're all wealthy. No one's leeching off you.
Exactly.
But now, if you're the only wealthy
You're always
person
gonna call
amongst
that
10
person
people,
a leech. You're gonna be like, oh, you're a leech. You are a user. You're always using me. I'm always the one buying this. I'm always the one buying that.
besides, you're gonna lack opportunities, bruh. Most likely, you're gonna remain as you are, or you're gonna start falling because they're gonna start planning your demise. Because that's how human nature is. That's how jealousy and envy comes about. But you're not gonna have that when we're on the same level. It also feels like, yo, Ntwana, there's this good deal that I came across.
Yeah, let's go
I don't
for it.
have the shit to do it. Do you want it? But now, if when I a hot man in the clique, no
gonna
one's gonna come to
materialize.
you with opportunities.
And the day you go broke, all of us are broke.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I remember, for you to remain the hot man, you need to overplace on Ntwanaki 1,000.
But now that you're saying that, I've got a question. Do you think this is another reason why black people just don't keep their wealth?
Yeah.
In most
Yeah.
cases.
Yeah. I think the black community, we thrive on unity, working together, like we're going back to Ubuntu.
We're supposed to.
We're supposed
but
to.
we
That's-
no longer.
Yeah, that's how the black community was back then
Yeah.
before, like, I would say the colonists came and ruined all of that. Now, because their society works on individualism, that's why they're thriving. They're actually working in the system that they were built on, whereas we were forced to be introduced to this system where individualism, whereas now you find people, I work on my own. I can't always help Kagiso. I have to work for me and my family. So Kagiso will have to figure it out. Whereas me helping Kagiso
It's literally
in the
me
long
helping
run,
myself.
Exactly.
They
So
don't see that.
I think that's the issue here. That's why we're not progressing as a nation,
Yeah.
because now we lost the sense of
Yeah,
working
we lost.
together.
Yeah. So Ubuntu. To
I
say,
think it definitely goes back to Ubuntu. And also I think, I understand Hori, as black people we are like this. I just think all of these are trauma reactions.
bro, you're
Definitely.
gonna go trauma on your own people.
Nah, bro. Do you know when you are made to feel like an opportunity only needs to come to one person? For an example, it's the same reason why in black families you'll only find one person that has money.
That's because they want to keep it that way.
That's
But it is just the point.
probably yes.
No, I'm saying you have a point. It is trauma.
It's trauma, dog.
When you say trauma from what?
We are
So
conditioned.
it's like you being in a relationship that's someone who comes from an abusive relationship. They may come from a family of love, but the trauma they've experienced. Another guy, this a phone. Sning howly happy. Yeah, when I watch all. Or you come a bit late at home. Yeah, it's trauma. You find it's not really the foundation of that person, but they're reacting based on
They were
what.
conditioned.
Because
That's
remember,
exactly
we
what
used
I'm
to
saying.
compete. We used to compete to, okay, gee, snitch on your brothers, I'm gonna give you a promotion.
Who's a perfect slave?
Well, understand that house niggas, whenever you light skin, you're gonna stay in the house with the master. Guess who would snitch on the slaves that trying to run away? The house nigga. Because of the privileges he's getting. He sees LSG getting whipped or getting murdered, and also, I'm happy for the privileges I have. Why want to list panning talk? People who are most likely to snitch on you is your own people.
True.
Your Hoiti came 5 minutes late because panning. What you guys got? The white folks don't give a fuck, bro. Those are small things to them.
And
as long as you make the money, they don't.
It triggers them now because somebody's telling on.
So now
I have to react.
You take that behavior, you take that everything, you take it home. You take it to your community. You take it, dog. Like, if you're a recruitment and you know your neighbor's child who was an A student needs a job, and you're able to plug them,
why not?
And you don't. Olata mang kai that you don't even know.
Dog.
Yo. Why?
Yo, if bana ka Kenya, balolukisa ko bona, batlana na ba bitiri. Like, why is everything have to be a competition to us?
And with us it is, bro.
It comes from the I think it has.
And it's getting worse, hey?
As Gaso said, trauma. Not even trauma. I think it also comes from, I don't know what to call it, but they feel hori. If I help Huitzi becomes everything is not going better. Okay. It's like, I made you.
Yeah.
I put you in that position. It's because of me.
Yeah.
There's people that have that mentality.
And that's why personally, I don't usually accept help like that because it's going
you don't take handouts.
Yeah, it's going to fuck with my ego when you start saying, oh yeah, we're not also because of
I just imagine, come on, let's go. Kim span. That's
that's crazy. But for me, definitely it's a trauma reaction. I don't think the sense of Ubuntu that is gone and now we see each other as competitions. It's because of the things that black people have gone through. Every day we are made to feel like there's not enough opportunities. So we need to fight for these opportunities amongst each other.
Nah, bro. Another thing is that, bro. Because let me tell you something, bro. Now I've met people who are literally bosses. Like black people who are like bosses. Like you are a boss of your company or a boss in a company. And literally the job that you're going to give that other cousin that really needs it, or that other sibling that really needs it, is nothing close to where you are. You have the power to do it. You're just going to choose not to do it.
There's just people like that. They choose
so there's no competition.
They don't see the
I understand what you're saying, to say there's competition. That's why maybe we're like scrambling. We're like, no, I want it. No.
But that person is operating from a place of trauma.
But still,
I think
trauma,
there's a lot of people.
Conditioning, dog.
Yeah, it's a lot of conditioning.
Nothing is deliberate.
It's
the trauma thing, I get it, but
it's conditioning, dog.
Because
I don't want to blame it on trauma anymore. I want to blame it on people.
Can I say this? You know why we say it's trauma? You know, all of us, we have different traumas, right? We respond differently to traumas. But it can't be that the whole black nation across Africa, even in diaspora, we operate the same.
Yeah.
I'm not giving
even in America.
Because even in America, like, that's what I'm saying, the whole black nation. It can't be all of us, we operate the same way. We have the same mentality.
So you think it is
because if you are saying
conditioning and trauma.
Exactly. Okay. If you are saying it's on that person, then why other races are not behaving the same way?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's not on that person, dog. It's conditioning.
I remember someone was saying
terrible conditioning.
It is very.
And you must get out of that conditioning.
It's a lot, because remember, it's not just 2 years ago of trauma. It's
decades.
Of
centuries.
Trauma. Centuries of trauma. So I remember someone saying, a teacher of mine saying that the amount of time used to condition us, we're gonna have to take twice as much time to unlearn all these things. So we have a lot of work to do as a black community. You understand? So I remember I didn't even see it this way, but someone was saying even in workplaces, they still use the old tactic to divide and conquer. Even in workplaces, they use it. That's why even you see in most black-dominated workplaces where there's a lot of black people, we compete amongst each other, as Gus was saying earlier. Snitch on Huitzi so that you can get a promotion.
Yeah, true.
That's why we have conflicts at work.
Fuck.
Those are the type of things that set the environment divided. It's still the same tactics, never really been changed.
Yeah.
It's just that it's a different era, different approach, but it's the same thing.
Shit.
It's crazy. Anyway, what's the next topic?
Yeah, it's terrible, man. Fuck. I'm getting emotional.
Don't.
I was gonna ask what was the most common workplace conflicts, but obviously we've just touched upon that. So I would ask you, as you get older, as you grow, and if you've seen how the eras have changed, what is something that you would say you're starting to dislike as you get older? I would say noise.
Employment.
I don't like noise. Employment.
Hate
True.
it.
That is true.
I hate it.
No.
I hate it.
I think it ties back to workplace conflicts. I think that would be one thing.
I hate being employed.
Management and how you've been told what to do, when to go to lunch, when to piss, when to eat.
Bro, when to piss,
what to think. Even after work, you're thinking of the day, what happened at work. You don't even have time to think about how is Hoiti doing, how is Alicia doing, are you okay? I think that is what
being told what to do.
Yeah, when to piss, when to eat.
You know, there are times when I wake up on a weekend, I'm not going to work, but I panic in the fucking morning. I'm sitting, I'm like, oh my God, my alarm didn't ring. You know? And then when I check, I'm like, oh.
Shit, it's Saturday.
I'm not even in. That's what I'm saying. You don't even have time to yourself.
Now that's fucking trauma.
That's trauma as well.
That's fucking trauma.
That's what I'm saying, that you don't even have time to think about, are you actually okay? We're always on the go. On Monday to
You're
Friday.
always on the go.
8 hours.
This is what I was telling
Kagiso
Kagiso earlier on in the week to say, we're always just like running.
On the go.
There's no peace.
You know, the way I hate employment, goddamn. Yes, I feel like I've overstayed my welcome. Got like a good 6 years.
Yeah, we need to become businessmen now.
And every time I think about my hatred for employment, I'm thinking to myself, the people that are just going to work and working and not having any alternative plans, what are they thinking? You want to be treated like this for the rest of your life?
Funny you're saying this, dog, because earlier on, I think 2 weeks ago, I was having a conversation with Kagiso, and I was like, bro, sometimes I hate being an overthinker, and being an overthinker comes with a certain level of intellect. I'm taught. And that intellect requires you to just get out of the norm. And I'm not okay with being part of the norm. I'm not okay with just being part of, just the brink of how things are working in society. You know? I want to be more. I want to be more than just, okay, you're a basic worker, come to work, go home, come back, No, my mind is not like that. My mind is not saying, okay,
it's thinking
you
beyond.
have a job, it's fine, let's go. No, I want something more. I want something better. I want my mind to be challenged. I'm no longer challenged. I want to, So what I said to him, and I'm sorry if this sounds fucked up, but I was like, dude, sometimes I wish I was stupid. Honestly, I said sometimes I wish I was stupid. It comes back to what Lisa was saying, to say he does not understand how people are just comfortable just going to work, coming back
9 to 5.
And I'm not saying that those people are stupid, but I'm just saying that that's how I expressed it to him, because I just felt like if you're going to be okay and
bro, you wishing
just
to
be
be stupid is crazy,
mundane and be okay with whatever the fuck you're doing, then that means you're not well enough in the head to just say there's something better and I want something better. So I'm okay with where I am. It's fine. I'm working. I'm able to buy food. I'm able to buy clothes. I'm okay. You're not thinking of buying something bigger. You're not thinking of getting into business. You're not thinking of being your own boss.
It could also go back to conditioning. As society, we've been conditioned to say that as long as you can get by, as long as you can survive, even if it means the bare minimum, like working every day doing the same thing, a shitty job, as long as the money's coming in to survive. So if you think beyond what we are being conditioned to be, it's like you're not normal, you're not okay.
Yeah, you're not okay. You're dreaming.
Yeah, you're dreaming.
Yeah, you're dreaming.
So I think it's that we are being conditioned to.
Nah, for me, it's crazy. It's crazy when I think about people that are just going to work, go home, work home, that whole thing. And they're very comfortable
with that life.
I don't know if they're thinking maybe in their 40s, if they're still going to be doing this thing. But by the looks of things, it looks like they're still going to be doing the same thing, because I haven't heard them say anything. And I can tell, I know how they live every day. They're not doing anything else. It's crazy to me, dog. For you to think, in your 40s.
I look at it and I'm like, fuck no, I will not be. One thing, and this is sad, eh? And somebody the other day actually said it, I think 3-4 weeks ago. I said it to like a colleague. We're literally chilling in We're just in a group, like, not so much like in a group, because, I'm saying this because we're not paying much attention to each other. But what I said to these people is that I was like, dude, if I ever reach the age of 45 and I've not amounted to anything, then I'm going to off myself.
I heard you say that.
And I've probably repeated to you guys as well.
I heard you say that. Because I just feel
I feel like, dude, if I've reached that age and I've not amounted to anything that I could literally look at and be like, okay, I've done this, or I'm starting this, or I've started this, then it's like, fuck that shit, bruh.
Nah,
I just feel like the chances are way less of me amounting to anything. And I'm like, I'm just a waste in society.
No, you, dog. No, the chances are very big. It's just that all the things, like I told you the last time you said this shit, and I was like, my nigga, if you want by that age, you are doing something different. You literally need to start like 2 more side hustles apart from this thing that we're doing here. Then you can see at least one of these 3 things.
It's working out.
It's supposed to work out.
I don't want to be a statistic, man.
I think it also goes with
I don't want to be a statistic, man.
I don't want to censor this around the conditioning thing but then it leads back to that in a way, because now remember back then having a job was enough.
Yeah.
You understand? You could afford a lot. You could buy a house, you could buy a car.
You could literally just live. I don't know.
Actually,
societal pressure.
You understand? So and at a certain age,
exactly.
At 25, you're supposed to have established a good career, or either be married and have kids.
It's fucking impossible now.
And then at 30, you need to. So I feel like as the years go, the goalpost is being shifted.
Yes, it's shifted like drastically.
Because when you think about it, all of our parents, they have houses, they have
bruh,
and they probably had houses at our age.
Exactly.
I don't even have a dog.
But like, I feel like the goalpost keeps being shifted. Now, I remember even this was I don't know if it was Bill Gates, but there was a quote that he said that if you think the salary that you're earning at your job is enough, then you're playing games.
You're fucking playing games. Exactly.
You need to have a side hustle, as Lesotho says.
Yes,
like back then it wasn't like that, though.
And it wasn't.
If you're being honest,
it wasn't.
So
and
now we are.
The side hustle one is not even enough.
It's not even
isn't,
enough,
bro.
You need to try at least 3.
3. You're right.
So I think the pressure of having achieved something at a certain age, it still stands. 25, you feel the pressure starts getting, settling in, like, okay, I don't have a kid, I'm not married, I don't have a house, I don't have a car, what am I doing, So the age still stays where at this age you're supposed to have, but then the society as a whole, the economy is not allowing that.
And by the way, the monies that we're probably earning way more than the monies that our parents they used to earn.
Nah, they're more in terms of.
But they have no value. There's no value in the money that we're getting.
Yeah, they're more
inflation
in terms of just.
There's no value in that money.
Amount or figure, but they don't have value.
Exactly.
Our parents earned way more than us when it comes to now value. To say.
Exactly, it was more
economy
value of money
versus salary type of thing. But sorry, brother. Let's go for it.
No, I was saying, back then, a lot of households were, what can I say? The earner was a single person, which was the father. The majority of them. That's why, I think you're the one who sent me the TikTok or the video, where you find your father was a policeman, could buy a house, take all 4 of you guys to school.
Exactly.
Clothe all of you guys, put food on the table. Now, even just one child and 2 parents working, it's not enough to make ends meet. You can't buy a house. The car installment thing.
It's heavy.
Like everything is just borrowed. If you lose your job, you lose everything. As opposed before, by 25, you married, have a kid, have your own house.
Dog.
Like have life going on. That's why back then you find someone. They're not in their dream job, but they could go on with life because they can make ends meet. Nowadays, bro, you're just miserable because firstly, you're not in the job that you like.
Bruh.
Second of all, you can't make ends meet.
Yeah.
Like nothing is going on in your life.
And in order to qualify for anything, you have to have good credit, and to get good credit, you have to be in debt.
Exactly.
So
which
it's
is
like
ridiculous.
the goalpost,
The system is fucked
yeah,
up.
where do goalpost
The system is kakra. Like it goes back to that thing, Yari. Like Neo just said, to say, here you are, you're supposed to have a good credit score. You know, the same thing goes with jobs. They literally say go to varsity, you'll get a great job. But as soon as you're out of it, you're degreed. Now you get this job post that says we want 5 years experience. You know, and how the fuck am I gonna gain this experience if you don't fucking employ me?
The goalpost keeps shifting.
So it's so much bullshit. Like they're literally feeding us a lot of fucking bullshit.
And it's funny that our parents still believe that education is the key to success, whereas as the years go, it decreases.
The person that employs you doesn't even have a grade 12.
Doesn't even have a grade 12. And
that's the sad thing. And they literally running you at your job.
But that's the thing of Ubuntu we've been speaking about. So we can't a lot of time put blame on other races, whereas we're not even plugging ourselves. You can have a company that has black HR and black recruiters, but they will still expect the unexpected from you. Or you must have a PhD, you must have in only for you to have an entry-level job. Go check us. But when it's a white person or any other races, it's like
it's standard. Like, okay, come through.
Yeah,
I don't care what you have, just come through.
Like if you look at it, even the apartheid government, a lot of people that held key, like people that maintained ESCOM and all that, they did a very excellent job. How many of them had qualifications where they can say, I'm a certified or I went to school to be an engineer? But till now, they can outsource their expertise. They say you're very good at 1, 2, and 3. Like that's why a lot of people are like, just give someone else a job, a chance. 90% of jobs out there, even if they need qualifications, they can be taught.
They can be taught, exactly. That's what I can
understand
saying.
If you want to be a surgeon or...
That's different, you know.
Yeah.
It requires a certain level of
expertise. But a lot of things, even to be Mutwako HR, bro, you can be taught to do that
run
job.
The shit. Oh.
You know, bro, the times
I think sometimes education is just designed to waste our time. Just to prolong societal, you know,
it's a money-making scheme.
Or I don't know. Huh?
It's a money-making scheme.
Yeah, but it is a fucking money-making scheme.
I mean, it can't be that, especially in our country, we as black people are even though we are in the majority, but if you go to like varsities, we the ones at varsities, where it's like, where are the other races?
That's the conversation I always have.
Where are you going? Are we the only ones that getting the memo of education is key? Or are you guys being told something different?
Yes, you know, what you're saying is so true. And I'm glad you're saying it because I've repeated this statement to so many people to say it's so fucked up how we black people are normally just shifted to get a degree, you'll be fine in life, you know? Whereas in my grade 10, 11, 12, I've schooled with white kids and all the other races. But when it comes to varsity,
they're not there.
If, let's say, for instance, 50% of the class is white or 60% of the class is white, where I schooled, come to varsity, there's literally only 3% of the class. And you know, varsity classes are like large.
And if there are any other...
And in most times when they are studying,
it's usually subjects that we black people don't even consider taking.
It's normally like your heavy like engineering, maybe doctoring.
Or I remember when it was still called Monash, when I was in matric, obviously I went to do extra classes there. And majority of the white kids were in subjects like development studies. Development studies.
Yeah.
As black people, it's very rare where I hear someone, I'm studying development studies.
Yeah.
What are you developing?
What are you
developing?
Know
the fuck that is.
What I wanted to say is that although we go into higher education, it seems like we lack the ability to think broadly.
Exactly. But that's
what I say is that you attain your qualification for you, whereas in other races, they attain qualification for the betterment of their race or their family. So for example, development studies. most likely what you're developing is for the next generation, whatever the case is. Check, for example, Orania. Orania is in such, although it's small scale, but if you think broadly, it can survive independently, right? It's, let's say, in a sense, it's like Lesotho. That's what they're aiming for. They have their solar panels. They can go off grid. They have they're now building dams and all that shit, right? With the ability that we have. So, for example, I think last time I checked 10 years ago, Soweto had over 50 millionaires. They can't come together and say, guys, let's do it.
15 years, dog. There's almost 2 million people in Soweto.
But exactly 15 years. So everything area matelang like engineer, utoba electrical engineer, utoba a lawyer, utoba a mechanical engineer. How many the mechanics tako kasi most of them are backyard mechanics. How many RMI approved dealerships so lang kasi?
Not a lot.
How many of Bona Bakari, you know what? I'm an electrician, the solar and. Like a lot of us, when we attain qualification, we attain them with the purpose of working for
someone. That's what I was just about to comment on now. To say, I think the purpose of us getting a degree is not to think beyond saying I'm going to be. It's to domesticate us, to make us now abide by somebody's whatever. Like, it's so fucked up. It goes back to what you just said now, to say 90% of the jobs are taught. So why can't I fucking get it taught at grade 12?
Like,
why do I have to waste my time, waste my money? You know how many black children are in debt today because of the fact that they went to varsity?
Because now the reason why I was saying
that time is not doing fuck all for them.
To domesticate us, it's, if you were to look at the subjects that we took, you know, in grade 9, they would tell you, like, take subjects that basically you're gonna go to varsity for, right? So, like your majors, if I were to put it. So when I wanted to take business, but then it said business management. When I was still doing business, I was like, why are we managing an existing business? Why doesn't it tell us how to start a business step by step? You understand? And majority of the kids in my school that took that subject were black. So we are there to maintain.
But guys, we
can't maintain the business.
We can't always blame other people. Why are we not thinking?
No, that's the thing.
No,
education is not building us. Education is not training us to think.
Us not to think.
Unfortunately, the thinking, and yes, as much as you might think, okay, we're old now.
Let's put it this way.
Education was like.
Eric can take this example.
I'm sorry. Can I get say this last part, man? Look at it from how we were conditioned to line up in grade school, like in fucking primary vibes. You were literally told, okay, stand in a line.
My man, okay, sharp.
That's already conditioning.
I'm just gonna backtrack you a bit. Now, LSG abuaka trauma. When you speak about trauma, about black people, then you said something about we can't always blame trauma. It can't always be trauma. What you are relaying now is trauma. And get off example, how many black people are called Kuro? Or Kuro, the school, or multiracial schools.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
We go to the same schools with the people that we're gonna call boss or managers.
Practically.
What's the difference when we're getting the same education? Yes, not the majority of Rona, because yes, the majority of black people, Bakukas and whatnot, essentially don't get the same treatment or the exclusions. Some of the mindsets comes from home, Joe. As Rachel, Soweto is the biggest township in the southern hemisphere. There's over 2 million people. You're telling me how a business that's going to service your own area and make money from that.
Make economy out of it.
I mean,
look, the arguments yes, literally when we go and study, we're studying to be employees.
Workers. Yeah.
Right? I do understand that part. And you are saying, you are bringing an argument, we are not trying to be innovative with these qualifications that we're studying for. We just want to be employees. Sometimes you need to understand, guys, the people that are studying, some of them or many of them are first generation degree holders.
Okay.
And we've put everything on this person, so the least we can this person expect. Sometimes it's not even something they expect. It's you telling yourself, from here I need to work so that the people that are coming behind me, they also can get the same education as me. So I cannot afford now got this degree, the business. where else I can actually go and earn 25,000. And that time, no one has ever earned even 10,000 in that household. So you can't expect that same person, dog, to go in and try and be innovative with that degree. They can't afford it.
No, it's not even that they can't afford it.
They can't.
It's more of no. I don't wanna say they can't afford it because it goes back to what Kagiso is also saying, to say in that particular community, why can't those people come together and build?
They cannot afford it, dog.
Nah, they can't. You just said there's Kagiso is the one that said how many millionaires? He said 50 millionaires in South Africa and in Soweto once upon a time.
Yeah, but 50,
over 50.
Mamela
khwitso on a dog.
No, I get what you're saying. It's a valid point, and it's true.
If kokasi ko nna, remember, if we're gonna come together and start a business.
What you're saying, LSG,
we're building that business starting from scratch.
What you're saying is factual, it's true, ne? But let's use this analogy.
Sure.
How many people, the same people that you're referring to, obathola ko branded clothing stores?
With their degrees. With their
so-called not ability to take risks or buying expensive cars. Because you don't challenge one, bro. The very same stores that they tease you about, bo jet, bo pep, bo ing, white people are not afraid to go there, even if they're earning twice as much as
when they start earning that big amount, now they start.
Besides the big amount, even when they're earning a small amount, just go to your workplace. See a white person, see a black person. See who's wearing more expensive gear.
It's trauma.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch on that.
But what I'm saying is you can't take risk for your betterment, but you can take risk for your demise.
It's trauma.
Be that as it may. That's why we lack that ability to think.
No, you can't
trauma. No, I don't even think it's ability to think. Nah?
It's trauma. It's not an ability to think. It comes back, trauma,
and we had this conversation earlier on in the week to say poverty is something that really strips you of your dignity. It strips you of your respect. It strips you of so many things that literally make you acceptable as a human being in a normal society.
But why is it hyper successful people mainly come from poverty-stricken homes?
True.
That's why I say we can't always blame one thing if we are unable to.
What I'm currently doing now is answering the aspect of, or the question where you asked to say, why are our black people constantly running for designer labels, expensive clothes, expensive cars, expensive households, and. We are coming or breaking away from a period whereby when you are seen as poverty-stricken, you are immediately not seen as a human. You're seen as a slave. You're seen as many other things that are just negative. So the first thing that the mind does when you own these, or when you are able to afford, is to try and make yourself look good enough not to look poverty stricken. Like I said, it's like nobody wants to associate themselves with poverty. Even if you are poverty stricken, even if you are broke, you are poor, you are whatever, as soon as you get that little amount that is able to feed you and get you that sneaker, get you that clothing, get you that car, get you whatever, you are gonna go for it, regardless of how little you earn or how much you can't afford that particular thing. But unfortunately, that's just how it goes back to what you're saying, and that's why I think we're gonna go back and forth because some of my feelings around certain things might oppose a statement that you might have actually said earlier on that or might sound like it's in line with a statement that I might have opposed earlier on, type of thing. So
contradicting yourself, I understand. So
this bastard.
What I wanted to say is that I understand your argument, dog. I do understand your argument, Jorge. It doesn't make sense for those people now to go and buy developer just because they can afford them. You also need, and then your other argument was that, but there's people that, or the hyper successful people are people that are coming from poor backgrounds. Yeah. You need to understand, Jorge, for people that have ignored all the other things and they chose to build, Mfana, they probably had to fight with their minds a lot. They probably had to
Willpower.
let a lot of things slide. It's a thing, yeah, Jorge. I know, Jorge, I should be looking like this because I'm now working, but I'm choosing not to look like that. I'm choosing to build. So they had to fight with a lot of things, fight
willpower.
traumas.
You know where my perspective is coming from this?
Willpower.
Not who's right, who's wrong. There's no wrong answer in this case.
Practically. That's
Yeah.
why he's thinking.
Because each background,
I'm
each family
contradicting
will
myself.
have its own reasons why they didn't make it. Now all I'm just doing is bringing a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
You understand? So you can't say, hi, and I kill people because I had a shitty background. Not rape people because Mang didn't treat me well.
Because there's so many people who have been in those environments and don't do that.
Exactly. You understand? So how can you say, yeah, Nako hired a poor because apartheid. Yet again, you're buying expensive cars. Or buy Gene A1 at 5,000.
It's like
Where's the analogy in there, Joe?
complaining and not doing anything.
Fiji empty ma ulo papa to 8,000. Like, but then you're gonna blame. One thing I've realized, we're quick to point fingers elsewhere except to ourselves. Yeah. Whether you come from a good background or not, it takes a lot of discipline for you to start your own business or to better yourself. Anyhow,
Willpower.
Joe, you need to sacrifice going out and study. Whereas to dlala PlayStation 5, what game answer your dog? I'm going out Friday. Do you wanna come with? It needs to take discipline to say, nah, dog, I'm studying, I'm writing on Monday. That's what I'm just saying. Okay. To a certain point, let's just take accountability to say, you know what?
I don't even think those people are praying, dog. You'll never find them praying, go high, what. They will just do whatever that they think they need to do or they want to do. It's just a matter of understanding all of them. For some of them, they couldn't win the fight. They need to think about the people at home. They just chose to elevate themselves. But anyway, what's the next topic? Don't contradict yourself. This bastard. And I was not gonna say that you the one who mentioned it. You different. You.
No, I get. I'm listening
you
to myself
arguing
as
with
I speak.
You arguing with your first statement.
Yeah. Well.
With respect to what I wanted to ask is like we were mentioning expectations, like people out. What expectation have people in your personal lives or even in general, friends, social backgrounds, that they have on you that you couldn't live up to?
Okay, wait. Let me hear that again.
Like, what expectation have people put upon you that you yourself, you knew that you couldn't even live up to that, but you chose, as Lesotho says, to continue?
Probably everyone around me would have expected for me to have my own car by now, but I don't.
That's true. Yeah, same.
Especially because I usually tell them I work with people that probably earn the same amount, even lesser, but they have cars. And because sometimes people wouldn't understand how is that even possible.
You work.
How do you have people that earn the same salary as you, but they have cars and you don't? And then now you need to tell this person, we don't have the same responsibilities. I'm looking after a household, the entire. I have a kid. So things are not the same. But that's probably one thing. Libile, that's an unspoken maybe thing that they have on me. But I have things that I put on myself that I haven't achieved. And yeah, it's mostly for me, it's things that I put on myself, but I haven't achieved. Yeah, I don't have, no one has ever said to me, I expect you to have this, or I thought you were going to have this by that age, and I'm surprised how you don't have it even now. No one has ever said it.
Like another thing, especially the one that I've picked up on, especially in our communities, is that a lot of people our ages and older haven't moved out of their parents' houses. That's another pressure.
Yes, that's a common one.
It's a common one.
That's a common one.
Like, there's some people that look down upon you. Also move out.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, as you said, we have different priorities. I could have moved out,
Exactly.
but I can't afford to move out, unfortunately.
Responsibilities are not the
same.
same.
Responsibilities are not the same.
And it's unfortunate because every third post or fourth post you see on TikTok, people are showing us keys of their apartments, and you're thinking to yourself, shit.
You know what's funny?
No, with me.
Some of those people, yo, Joe, I got buy a cruiser, 500.
Stuff.
But they look down upon you who's still staying at home.
Exactly.
But on social media, they're doing it. But kapacho, hey, I can't know girls are last panning, kalong khasete casual. But when no rea cap, Maria, Sabana, yoga casual, they look down upon you.
Usually noodles, not as a snack, but as a daily bread.
Now, one other thing, and I'm bringing all yours into consideration because that is also everything that you guys have said is something that I've also experienced. But another thing, just to add on everything that you guys have said, is a lot of my, ex-peers, ex-friends or friends still have like second wives, third wives. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck that, that's a lot of pressure. You guys are expecting
Second
me
wives,
to...
third wives.
Yeah.
Meaning they remarried.
No, not remarried. They're living with like wives, like two wives.
Two wives?
Two wives and stuff, yeah.
What kind of friends do you have?
Hey, my man. You'd be
Hey, my man.
surprised. So they are under the impression that I should have
I'm thinking these people got
2-3
divorced.
wives by now. Yeah. Hey, bro, the pressure's on, my man. The pressure's really on. So these guys are sitting there like, hey, man, what's happening? And I'm thinking, fuck, dude, I don't even have a wife. Like, you're on your third, and I'm fucking haven't even gotten my first. How the fuck am I gonna pull that off? So that's my other struggle.
Hey, that's
to
a crazy
then answer
flex.
your question to say it's shitty, man.
The other
Feels like
struggles,
shit. It feels
the
like
other
shit.
struggles,
Then I feel like shit for not having
A
a wife
third
at
wife.
least. At least there must be a head. popping
Wanyana ya
up.
ubambis.
You know what I mean? There must be a head, nyana, female head popping up, nyana. You know what I mean? I don't have anything popping up. I come there with the cell phone in my hand and the dick in the other. It's fucking shitty.
Shit, that's crazy. You were
other
saying?
struggles is education.
Yeah.
One.
Oh.
Ano na matric fela,
That was
mang
supposed to
una
come before the wife.
two career.
Yeah.
Hore, mang o sebetsa khala o batla or a job they've always
Yeah.
wanted or a job they've studied for. You still in a job that someone out of matric can attain.
Can literally attain.
You
Yeah.
understand that? Another one, I think it is. Yeah, for now, those are the two I can think of career based. Or you also thinking 10 years from now, where would I be? Who would I be?
When
I
it
think
comes to
another thing that I pick up a lot. Okay, I don't have a
Oh,
child.
another one, kid.
I don't have
Yeah.
a child, but a lot of things that I pick up a lot that are really in terrible or let me rather say unhealthy competition is children. To say, Nalo and I, we both have children, and you're taking your child to Kuro, living the best life, doing whatever. And on the other hand, I can't afford Kuro, so I'm going to have to take my child to whatever. But whenever they mingle, or whenever we are together, your child is coming across as more advanced, coming across as more confident, coming across as more whatever. Or my child can actually be confident at home. But as soon as they meet your child, there's an element of change in atmosphere because your child is put on a pedestal, whereas now I'm living with my child the way I was probably raised on top. So that's another one that tends to be a big competition in our people. They tend to compete with where are you taking your child? Where is your child's school? And it tends to also cause a bit of discomfort when these children actually meet, because now in some cases these parents are actually having these types of conversations in front of their children, so their children end up knowing their social status at a tender age, meaning it gives their child the right to treat the next child who's not as wealthy or as comfortable living as their parents.
for me, dog, Owana, that sounds like sometimes the pressure that a person can put on themselves. Because you feel like, shit, Wanaka, I need to go and do a get together with these people, and now I'm gonna come across as what. It feels like a pressure that you put on yourself. But the attitude that I have of not giving a fuck, it's an attitude that works for me every day, literally. And the other thing I wanted to say with regards to what Kagiso was saying, especially with the education one, especially having matric only. Nanchaka, I think I've said this before, or I've always told myself, I want a matric in that dog. It's not gonna be. I don't look at matric as a bad thing. I've always told myself, even my exes, I've always told them, Hore, I am going to hire the people that have degrees now. I'm going to hire them, and I'm going to pay them, because I'm going to have more than them. And the businesses that I'm going to own, they're going to work for me, those people. So for me, even not a degree, I just see it as you, mfana, and then you're just going to be an employee, unless you're trying to do something different. And there's not a lot of people that are trying to do something different.
That's exactly how it is currently.
It's exactly what we spoke about.
You wouldn't be making a difference.
It's exactly what we spoke about. But a lot of times, I definitely feel like a lot of times it's pressures that we put on ourselves. It's the same thing that I was telling you about, Corey. Now I don't have a lot of people that have expectations on me. It's me that have expectations on me.
On yourself.
It's me that.
So it is
that
the pressures,
especially
that
when you sit on your own, and then you, because you can't even help yourself. You compare your life with other people that you grew up with, people that you went to school with, people that you started working with,
people on
and then you
social
look
media.
exactly,
But
and then
now
you
that
look
you're
at them.
saying that, have you guys ever been okay? Your parents, have they ever compared you to other children of your age in your lives, anywhere in your lives? Whether you were 6 years old, whether you were 10 years old, whether you were 13, 15, or 20. Have you ever been compared to any other child that is your age? Whether it's a child belonging to a family member, a child belonging to a friend,
A neighbor,
or whatever.
I feel
Always.
like all of us have gone through something like that. Even though parents don't say it directly, they do say or show you that.
So do you think
So, for example,
that
now,
might be a contribution to what we are currently going through?
Yeah.
In terms of, we have this mindset of comparison. We're always competing, or we've got this mentality of, fuck, I need to
Pressure.
be better than Lesego.
But
Because my parents have always said Lesego is better than me.
as bad as it is, it's human nature. Sometimes it's not malicious. It's just they are happy with your accolades or how good of a person you are. Sometimes they don't mean to compare, but you know what? Hoyt is very excellent. He's so good in sports. You understand? When it comes to essays, they're so good. They're not competing, you guys. They're just bragging about what you guys are good in. Maybe I know that you
One at a time.
it
It's
becomes malicious when they say, "Umoni wana wa mole."
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
That's very malicious.
Yes,
Maybe like,
it is malicious, but
wamthembu kyole o
Usanyetsi.
wasebetsa
Na le ngwana.
wasebetsa
O
ona le
rekile
ngwana o
ntlo.
dula le one wena o dutse mo le rona.
Wena o etsa eng?
Type of
That's
thing.
malicious.
but it's the same thing you do to yourself, bruh. How ka 40 if you don't make success? To a certain extent, you looking like
You must
now you're
stop that
busy saying
shit.
your peers are on the second or third wife. Yes, you don't mean ill to yourself, but it's certain
Where
things
that
that
coming from. It's coming from that thing, Yari. You had a household that was literally comparing each.
but at this point you should know better.
I should know better, but that's
You know, there's a saying that says
bro, there's still fucking 60-year-olds who are pressured by society, and they still need to.
there's
be
a saying that says if you were born poor, that's on your parents.
Yeah.
But if you die poor, that's on
That's
you.
on you, yeah.
So you
Let me
can't say
answer-
now I come from a poor background. That's like so. There's just a certain
Let me
extent
answer
you
your
can
question.
blame your
I
background.
haven't answered your question. Yeah, comparison, Libatswadi. Now,
No. I'm attacking it from a psychological perspective.
I
It goes
understand.
broader in terms of what we spoke of earlier. To say, could also Ubuntu just literally be stolen by maybe just how we were raised, or something along the way. It goes back to what you were saying, to say trauma.
I don't wanna lie to you, dog. My mom, not even once, I remember her saying, "Kore, ngwana wa ko kae kae wa o hlola," or wa o sa tshwanele ngwana wa smang mang, ngwana wa ko kae. She has never said that, dog. I remember I came back, reporting failure grade 10. And I told her, "Kore, failed," and she was like, "Okay, it's fine. You're gonna try next year." And we were cool about it. The only person that came, atlong luansang or unshouted, kayona, it's my uncle. You no failil. You no kulanang liena no.
As I was saying, sometimes it's not direct. They don't have to tell you, I'm comparing you to Mang's child.
Yeah.
Sometimes tone delivery.
Yeah.
You know, like example, like if I hear my mom say, "Yo, waiting when I'm mang,"
Or once a compliment.
yeah, what compliment? So I can see the joy in my mom's whole thinking this is what she likes, and
indirect.
I'm
It's indirect.
You
It's
know,
a supplement.
It's subliminal. So like I wanna always give mama ko utabetse hore ngwana ole wa mang 1 2 3.
Okay.
So the way in which I tabling ka thing, I wish I can make her happy like that.
Like that.
Kanako is not something
true.
I align with.
Yeah, true.
Mabo. So it's sometimes that could also.
Yeah, no, that's true. You know, like they're not putting it direct. They're literally just hinting. Or hey,
Yeah.
by the way, this is what I find appealing. You know, so come to the party.
Hey, but when I came back with that report at grade 10, I first had to mention my friends who were physical fella so that she can
To
see
make the
hore
blow
it was a
lighter.
bit hard.
Yeah.
It was a bit hard. Even though I know she was not gonna shout at me or say anything bad, but because ke khotse ke motshaba, I had to come ka engel. Ke ska tla direct. Because next totally squalo sa lipoto or something. But she was cool about it. Do we have another?
I don't know. We grew up in a totally different era.
We're gonna
How long have you gone?
over an hour.
Muskont. My man, do what you do best.
Just to wrap up, I don't know if I told you guys, there was actually a time when, just to touch on what you were saying, to say you came with an angle to your parent. There was actually a time when I was in a school that, had corporal punishment at the time, and I came home. So yeah, at school, I swore one of my
You
peers,
swore?
My man,
You've always been like this.
I've always been like this. I swore one of them are my peers. Like this kid, he literally, I don't know, we're running, we're playing around, and then he kicked me, And as he kicked me, I saw like, I'm Sunamau.
Huh.
And he ran away.
How old are you?
And then
How old are you this
I think
time?
I was in grade 6.
What did you say, Doc?
Sunamau. Hey.
Sunamau.
Huh. I'm this guy, there's no way.
It was break time. It was break time. God, this teacher is literally sitting next to the classroom. He's chilling. He's like, when I'm for
Grade 6.
motherfucker called me on.
8.
Kujwetsa akena kada. He gave me three whip.
You should be 10 at this age.
3 whips.
With some Sunamau. Lila kuletika so it's Sunamau.
Mara waitiba.
Kaitiba
No
makasoitu.
then. No waitiba then.
Anatonza umure I said.
So I'm an like he literally made me lie on the table. Fa. I got home.
I
got home, and I think just after bathing, I'm now crossing, whatever. My mother saw me. Hey, King Mu, like now she's referring to my butt. And she's like, King Mu. I was like, Aksebi King, like,
Oh,
I was glued. Scared my gas. And I'm shocked. We were all shocked, She's shocked. I'm shocked. Like, what the fuck? Is that thing you're in you? I know, and it's painful at the time. She's pressing it, and I'm like, man, I'm not on a show. Can you check? Oh shit! The chevy starts peeling. I'm going to pain. I like Aksiti. Why? Bruise, bro. I couldn't fucking tell her. Because if I told her I was going to get another whiplash. But anyway, Street Squats. Kagizo, you got BTW?
No.
Now you got BTW?
No, nothing.
The only battle I have is that.
Yeah, no, the Street Squad, thank you very much for always tuning in.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you. We appreciate you. We've been appreciating you. And we need you. So... we need you to participate in this every week party that we do. And we are for the streets. We bring pure content, natural, the best of the best. I don't think there's any content that you can feed from that is as quality, mature, and, coming with such great density. And there's a lot that you guys are going to interact with us on. So just continue tuning in, and we are
Out of here.
Yeah.